So welcome to you all once again. So as you know already that in the last video we have tried to understand the basic working principle of the Anderson bridge, and it is basically a modification of our Maxwell inductance capacitance bridge by which we can measure relatively high amount of self inductance of the coil that is mentioned here, and the measuring range is very high. And this is the typical diagram, and probably you can find it. We have done all the calculations to find the unknown values. What are the unknown parameters here? This L1 and R1. L1 is the unknown self inductance of the coil that we want to measure, and R1 is the resistive part of that particular coil which we also want to measure. So for that we have primarily taken three different equations. Then we have equated these three equations into a single one, from which well, you can find it now, from which we have finally calculated the value of unknown resistive element that is connected or present within the coil, that is R1, plus the self inductance of the coil, that is L1. Now today we will try to describe the phasor diagram of this particular bridge. So this is the phasor diagram. Finally, when we will complete the diagram, it will look like this one. So here we will try to understand step by step how to draw the phasor diagram of this typical Anderson bridge. So let's start. Probably you can find it here. Let me adjust it. Okay, hopefully now you can find it. Yeah. So this is the circuit diagram, depending upon which we will try to draw the phasor diagram. Now you know the electrical excitation given to the system is capital E, due to which I1 and I2 are the two branch currents that is flowing through the two different branches. So we should start our phasor diagram from I1. So assume that this line or this vector represents the branch current I1. Now if I1 can be represented by this vector, then the voltage drop across this small r1 and capital R1 will be correspondingly I1 R1, capital R1. Now these are the voltage drop across resistance. So in case of resistance, we know that there should not be any phase difference between the current and the voltage given across to this particular resistor. So the same line will represent as I1 R1 and I1 capital R1. So these are the voltage drop across two different resistors, when I1 current is flowing through them. Now in the branch 1 we can find I1 current is flowing through the inductor L1. In case of inductor, we know that the voltage drop across inductor leads by 90 degree with respect to the current which is flowing through it. So that means the voltage drop that will created by L1 should lead over by I1 with an angle of 90 degree. So the voltage drop due to the flow of current I1 through inductor L1 is I1 omega L1. I1 omega L1. Remember, we have not represented J here, because we consider that J has been represented as this angle which leads by 90 degree with respect to I1, right? So this is I1 omega L1, voltage drop across L1. These are the two different voltage drops across the two resistance, small r1 and capital R1, and their summation should give us the E1, that is the total voltage drop across the branch 1. So if we add them by using the law of triangle, then this vector represents E1. Clear? So this is the phasor diagram for branch 1, which contains unknown inductor and unknown resistors. Now from the diagram we can find, as the detector is connected between B point and O point, and the bridge becomes active or measurable only when no current flows through the detector. So that means the potential drop or potential difference between B and O is basically zero. So in that case, the branch current I1 should flow through this particular branch, that is branch 3. So that means I1 is equal to I3. So due to the flow of current I1 through R3, it should create a voltage drop that is equal to I1 R3. So if this is the line of the vector, this vector represents I1, then I1 R3 should be on this line because it represents the voltage drop across the resistor R3. Now what is I1 R3? I1 R3 is equal to basically E3. So this vector also represents E3. Now what is E3? The voltage drop across this branch is equal to the voltage drop across this capacitor. This capacitor is basically C. So that means E3 should be equal to IC by omega C. So what is this one? This represents the voltage drop across this capacitor C when IC amount of current is flowing through it. So this is basically the vector representation of the voltage drop across capacitor. So if this is the voltage drop across capacitor, then what should be the direction of the current which is flowing through it? So we know in case of capacitor, voltage lags with respect to current by an angle 90 degree. So if this is the voltage across capacitor and it has to lag by an angle 90 degree, then what should be the direction of current IC? It should be in this direction, right? So that means all the vectors that we can draw in this direction can represent IC. Clear? Now IC current is flowing through small r also. That will create a voltage drop IC into smaller. So if this is IC into R, then IC into smaller should be in this direction. Now why I am drawing this one? Because already you know we have written in case of the calculation of the L1 and R1, the voltage drop across this capacitor plus across this resistor is equal to voltage drop across this resistor, because both are parallel connection. I am repeating it once again. The voltage drop across this branch is equal to voltage drop across this branch. So already we have drawn the voltage drop across the capacitor, that is IC by omega C, and the voltage drop across this branch is IC into smaller, so that is this one. So their summation should give me this voltage drop. Okay, so let me add it. So their summation should give me the value that is called actually E4, this one. Now what is the value of E4? E4 is equal to I4 into R4, because the voltage drop of this branch is equal to voltage drop of this branch. Both are in parallel connection. So if this is E4, then we can write down this is basically due to I4 into R4. Now what does it mean? I4 current is flowing through resistor R4, and that particular voltage drop can be represented by this vector. So this is possible only when I4 current can be represented in this direction, right? Now what is the relation between IC and I4? From the diagram we can find I2 current is coming here. Now it gets bifurcated into two branches. One is called I4 and the one is called IC. So I2 is equal to IC plus I4. That means the vector summation of IC and I4 should give us the direction of I2. So how to add these two vectors? Draw the parallel line, connect them, and we will get, so this is the direction of current I2, and I2 is the current flowing through resistance R2, so that will create a voltage drop I2 into R2. Now what is I2 into R2? That basically represents E2. Now finally we have drawn four vectors. One represents E1, that is this vector. This another vector represents E2. This vector represents E4. and this vector represents this one represents E3. Remember, due to the different connection of this detector, in this particular case we cannot write E1 is equal to E2, E3 is equal to E4. So from our diagram we can find that all the 4 branch voltage drops are represented by 4 different vectors. So their summation should give us E, because E1, E2, E3, E4 all appeared into the picture due to the application of E. So how to add them? We will once again follow the law of parallelogram. So what is that? From this point, draw a parallel line of this one. So I am trying to draw a parallel line of this one. From this point, draw the parallel line of this one. Now simply add them. So this line represents the voltage E1. The voltage E, that is the excitation voltage. Now from this diagram you can find that the given excitation to the system basically leads by a certain angle with respect to the currents I1 and I2, right? So this is the phasor diagram of this particular bridge. So hopefully you can find it. The clear diagram that I have tried to draw is this one. Hopefully you can find it. So if you still find any point is difficult to understand, please let me know. You can directly give me feedback at the comment section. Thank you.